Okay, so we've tested the pH of the water, and the pH is alkaline. Now, if the pH comes out yellow, that means the pH is acid. If the pH comes out green, that means it is neutral. If the pH comes out blue, that means it is alkaline. Now, in Sydney, our water is alkaline, and it's quite a process, and it's actually not that easy to run anything besides alkaline water. As your tank gets more established, then it will be easier to run the lower pH. But most people in Sydney just tend to run that pH because in general, fish from a more acidic environment, like these neon tetras, will adjust to slightly alkaline water, generally no problem. But it does not work the other way. If you got fish from alkaline water, you cannot put them in... Look at these guys, they're really going at each other, aren't they?
Nice. Are they fighting?
Well, yeah. These two don't like each other. So they're probably just sorting dominance out.
So there must be two males and a female.
Well, they're all either that or they're gangbanging.
No, they're gonna come.
So we just need to keep an eye on them because they are actually acting a little bit aggressively. Once again, don't worry too much about your neons. In general, the more of them you get, the better they tend to get along because they are a schooling fish. But these guys are pretty feisty, so we'll just keep an eye on them. But they're only neons, they can't do too much damage. So anyway, so once again, alkaline water fish cannot go in acid water. Acid water fish, in general, do tend to adjust to alkaline water okay. So at the end of the day, fish from the ocean or from lakes tend to be in more alkaline water. Then you've got the top of a river where the rain comes down, goes across the mountains, and the top of the river tends to be more acidic, and then it makes its way down the river, it becomes more neutral. Then towards the ocean, the river becomes more alkaline. So depending on where the fish are found in the river system will depend what sort of fish, what sort of pH the fish have. So you can have a river like the Amazon River, whereas the attributes into the Amazon River and the top of the Amazon River will be quite acid. And then by the time you get down to the ocean, it'll actually be quite alkaline. And that's quite normal. So in general, man, these are psycho neons.
You get these on the ball, bro.
Yeah.
What have you been feeding them?
Yeah, they're full. They're going. So we'll just see how they go. Otherwise, we might have to add some extra ones. Otherwise, you've just got psycho neons. But I mean,
That'd be sick. I'd love to have psycho neons.
Well, it's not, neons are normally very peaceful fish, but these guys, these are hating each other. Look at them. Come on, guys, be love, not hate.
They were finding the bag.
Yeah, I know.
Find the bag is.
These guys are like full trying to mad dog each other.
Do you reckon they're trying to fight to death?
Oh, not usually, but this is interesting how aggressive these ones are.
Have you ever seen this before?
Well, I don't think I've paid enough attention to neon tetra fights. Like, I didn't know neons even can hurt each other. But
$20 on the more blue one.
Yeah, we can put bets on
We
it.
can put bets on it. $20 on the more blue one.
But when they breed, you can tell because they sort of whack against each other like that.
Oh, nice and that's actually cool. That's free neon tetras. Oh.
No, but they're going to scatter eggs, and then the eggs are just going to get eaten by the other fish. So neons are not something you're going to breed. But your molly will breed. See how your molly's got a big fat belly on her?
Is it pregnant?
Yeah, it's pre-pregnant. It's like
what colour are they going to be?
It's like a child bride. This one because it's only a baby. It's only a baby molly, but mollies are pretty much pregnant all the time. But this molly has already been knocked up. So maybe by its uncle. Now, what do I teach you about uncles?
Never trust your uncle.
That's right. And this molly probably shouldn't have trusted its uncle. Okay, so now we're going to talk about KH. Now, pH and some of the other tests are what's called colorimetric tests, which means we're comparing the color. This one is a titration test, which means we're counting the drops. So what we did is we filled it up to the line, we gave the bottle a shake, and we put one drop in, and it was blue. Then we put a second drop in, and it was blue. Then we put a third drop in, and it started going a bit green. Then we put a fourth drop in, and it went yellow. So that means it's 4 drops, which means 4 degrees of KH. So our KH in this water is 4, and that's a good KH. I'm happy with that. Man, these guys are full psycho. I'm going to call this the psycho neon tank.
I mean, a house is kind of psycho, so...
Yeah, well, neons are normally very, very peaceful, but these guys are full amped up ADHD psycho.
It belongs in the right house. It's like as soon as they touched our water, it's like they just go on crack.
Yeah, cracked up neons. So anyway, what carbonate does is carbonate helps to stabilize pH. So if we have high pH and low KH, the pH can quickly drop. If we have medium KH, like 4, the pH over time can drop to a certain level and it won't go too low. But if the KH was 0, the pH can just drop out with the presence of any acids. So it's really important that our KH is not 0, because carbonate is required for all life, including bacteria. So if your KH is 0, you might find your bacteria is not working very well. So we want our KH of this tank to at least be 1, but I'm very happy with 4, and I really wouldn't want it much over 6. Psycho neons. So the way we test ammonia is we just fill the test tube up, then we put 8 drops of A and 8 drops of B, and then if the solution is yellow, that's good. If it starts going green, that's not good. If it starts going blue, that's absolutely terrible. So once again, it'll have a color chart, and we really need the ammonia to be 0. If the ammonia starts to come up, the first thing we want to do is put a 5 times dose of prime in the water, and that will detoxify the ammonia so the fish don't know it's there. And doing water changes will diffuse the ammonia. We make sure the filter is working properly, and we can also add various good bacteria products that get us the good bacteria. So typically you only get ammonia if you've washed your filter out with tap water, or if you've added too many fish at once, or you fed too much, or a fish has died. So it's important to every now and then check your ammonia, and as your tank gets more established, you'll find that you just don't get ammonia anymore. And the ammonia is going to break down into nitrite. After you test ammonia, you want to wait 10 minutes before you compare the color. And then after you test nitrite, you want to wait 5 minutes before you compare the color. Always give the bottle a good shake. And if it's very light blue, it's okay. If the thing gets darker and darker, that means you've got nitrite in the water. And nitrite is basically what happens when the ammonia breaks down into nitrite. So the bacteria grows in the system to break the nitrite down. Ammonia typically isn't as poisonous as ammonia. So the nitrite is typically not as poisonous as ammonia, but nitrite is still not good for your fish. And the nitrite is going to break down into nitrate. And the way we test nitrate is fill up the tube to the line, and then we put in 10 drops and we shake it. Then we put in 10 drops of 2, and then we shake it, and then we compare the color. And ammonia breaks into nitrite, nitrite breaks into nitrate, and then typically water changes is the best way to get rid of nitrate. But nitrate is not very toxic. Ammonia and nitrite are more toxic. So once again, over time, the tank will evaporate. So you want to fill it up and add some water ager every time that the tank evaporates. You're doing that at least once a week. And then the other thing is a water change. So water change means you're removing water out of the aquarium and then you're putting clean water in. And removing water out of the aquarium is going to defuse down the levels. So over time, various things will accumulate in the water, and you need to stop that accumulation. And the way that you stop that accumulation is by changing the water. But you don't want to ever change too much water at once, because if you change, say, half the water and the water going in is colder than the water that's in there, then you can make your fish sick and they can get white spot, which is sort of like the fish catching a cold. And you'll see the fish flicking and scratching and acting unusual. So whenever you see your fish doing things they don't normally do, you want to make a little video of them, and then you want to come down and see us with the video and a sample of water so we can advise you on what to do next. Because we don't want the fish to get sick when you could probably treat the sickness very easily, but you've got to identify it and fix it straight away. Otherwise the fish can get more and more sick, and then you can actually lose them. So once again, if you did fix the light on this tank, we want the light on minimal amount of time. And definitely while you're asleep, you want the light off, and because the fish need to sleep. And then if you're out, it's better if the light is off.